Ellen, thanks. A Colorado Springs man who lived in a dead woman's house and used her car for months after she passed away is causing more trouble for that victim's family tonight. You may remember we profiled Jack Cole in a series of News 5 investigations into squatting back in 2018. Now, more than 2 years after Cole was kicked out of the house by the courts, he sued the dead woman's family for more than $250,000, all while he sits in prison. And in a bombshell discovery, Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Ross uncovered, a judge ruled in his favor.
Jack Cole is serving time behind bars in a prison cell far away from El Paso County. But that didn't stop him from filing a handwritten lawsuit seeking more than $400,000 in damages from the dead woman's family. The lawsuit comes after he was evicted from a home the courts ruled he had no legal rights to be in. And in a jaw-dropping decision this time around, the judge ruled in his favor. But our investigation found Cole, a career felon, only won his case because he played dirty, filing falsified records that look so real they apparently fooled the court clerk and even the judge. But he's not fooling me. He's the type of criminal who just won't go away.
He's a liar. And we have to live with this. It's not right. It's just not right.
We first met Jerry Clark after she unexpectedly lost her daughter Wendy in October 2017. And if the loss of a loved one wasn't enough grief, when she went to her daughter's house to collect her belongings, she was met with a surprise. Multiple people she had never met were living inside and even driving her dead daughter's car. For months, she fought with the court system to get the squatters out, all while Jack Cole and his friends taunted the family.
At Christmas time, he put up the Christmas decorations that they had and he put it on Facebook. Talk about pain.
Finally, in 2018, a judge ordered Cole and everyone else in the house to leave and granted possession back to Wendy's family. But by the time the squatters left, the house was destroyed.
It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And we told the police we need help. Nobody could help us because it's a civil case. We can't do anything. They couldn't do anything. What is wrong with our system?
Our stories on squatters eventually led lawmakers to pass legislation expediting court proceedings to get unauthorized people out of homes they do not belong in. But sadly, this case transpired before that bill passed. Fast forward to today, and Wendy's family is dealing with another nightmare, a lawsuit filed by Jack Cole, who is currently sitting in prison on an unrelated case. The mental stress has taken such a toll on Jerry, we made an editorial decision not to re-interview her, but I was able to talk with Michelle Clark, Jerry's daughter and Wendy's sister.
It's a lot of stress that I don't really need, especially in this time.
At the time I connected with Michelle, the governor's stay-at-home orders were in effect, so it was safer to speak with her by phone. She's one of 3 defendants Jack Cole is seeking more than $400,000 from for, quote, injuring his feelings, mental anguish, and loss of his social standing, as a convicted felon, I guess, among other gibberish. A lawsuit he won, a default judgment in his favor ordered by Judge G. David Miller. Now, here comes the bombshell.
I went out to get my mail and had a letter from El Paso County Court that there was a default judgment entered against me. I had no idea there was any lawsuit that I was involved in. I never got served paperwork, so I had no knowledge of this happening whatsoever.
The courts had paperwork showing Jack Cole had the lawsuit served to Michelle Clark, but a closer look at the paperwork has some irregularities the court did not catch. Remember, Jack Cole was behind bars when the paperwork was allegedly served to the Clark family. Looking at the process server documents, Cole allegedly had a man named Travis Rickard serve the papers on October 16, 2019. But he's no process server. He's a hustler, according to his Facebook page. And Travis Rickard is really Roger Travis Rickard, and he's also a convicted felon serving time in prison on multiple charges. At the time he allegedly served the Clark family paperwork, we learned he was actually incarcerated at the El Paso County Jail. Another discrepancy we noticed is that this paperwork says the lawsuit was hand-delivered to Michelle Clark, Where, you might ask? The address listed was none other than the El Paso County Courthouse, the last place you'd expect a felon to hang out at. Also on the date the court documents were supposedly hand-delivered to Michelle Clark at the courthouse, Clark provided timesheets to News 5 Investigates showing she was at work at USAA and had no business being at the courthouse. And in yet another discrepancy, the affidavit of service was notarized on October 9, 2019, a week before the documents were allegedly served. How can a document be notarized before the dates and information is filled out? Well, according to the National Notary Association, it can't. And we certainly have questions for this notary, because there's no way Travis Rickard could have been present to get something notarized, because on the day the form was signed and on the day the paperwork was allegedly served, he was behind bars. So how did the courts overlook this information uncovered by News 5 Investigates? To be honest, we don't know. We've been unable to speak directly or communicate via email with Judge Miller. The Clark family now demanding answers and accountability.
Someone at the courthouse dropped the ball, didn't catch this. He's destroying our lives. I mean, it was bad enough losing my sister and having to deal with that loss.
Now, I'm not an attorney, nor am I allowed to provide legal advice, but a source at the courthouse told me the family needs to file what's called a motion to set aside the default judgment, essentially wiping away any money Mr. Cole would receive as a result of his shenanigans. We do know that paperwork has been filed with the courts, and we'll be sure to update you on the latest developments in this case as they become available. Always watching out for you, I'm Eric Ross, News 5 Investigates.